Week 7 in the BCFC is in the books, so now it's time to look forward to Week 8. Hi, I'm Adam Cordick, host of Touchdown BC, and your weekly host for BCFC game previews. This week in Chilliwack, the 1-3 Winnipeg Rifles take on the 0-7 Valley Huskers. Even though these two teams are in different conferences, this game will count toward the team's record. We talked with the Rifles head coach, Gordie Wilson, and talked to him about what BCFC fans can expect from his team, and also talked to him about traveling to Chilliwack to play the Huskers. Coach, your team is making the trip to Chilliwack to take on the Huskers. For those BCFC fans who don't know about your team, take us through your season so far.
We opened the season on the road against the perennial national champions, Saskatoon Hilltops. We were actually the first quarter we were right there, and then we kind of had a bit of a brain fart and blew a coverage, and it kind of snowballed a little bit from there. We had a couple blown coverages, and they got up on us at the half, and then we fought through the game. And the kids played fairly hard. They made a lot of mental mistakes. We took too many penalties, that kind of stuff. And then from there, with the next game, we played the Edmonton Wildcats at home, and the kids played pretty well overall. There was some really crazy things. The score, to be honest with you, I thought the score was kind of flattering to Edmonton in the game, and we'd scored 40 points, like they had 28 or thereabouts. But overall, it was a pretty good effort. And then we played Regina week 3 at home. And in the first half, we probably should, to be honest with you, we probably should have been up or maybe down a score at the half, probably at worst. We had a chance to get in on the 1-yard line on the last play of the half, and we didn't get in, and that kind of, they were pretty jacked, Regina, from stopping us. And then our guys were, a little dejected, and they got first possession, second half and scored, and then they kind of ran away with it a bit. And our guys, the thing I wasn't happy about in the game, our guys let them bully them in the second half, and our guys didn't have much pushback. And then one of their players kind of did a very not classy thing. He actually knocked one of our kids out and gave the incomplete sign, but then he gave the sleep symbol, kind of put his two hands up beside his head, which I wasn't happy about. And I'll tell you, if I had been a younger guy, and I said to our kids on the Monday after, if that had been when I was playing football, there would have been a race for the 11 guys to go knock that guy out. Yeah. I wasn't happy with it. It was a classless move, and there was something I didn't like. Our guys didn't react to it, and I expressed that to them on Monday, and our offensive group was funny. When I left the room, they said to our offensive coaches, "But you have a coach, that would be a penalty." And I go, "There's certain penalties that are worth taking," and that would have been one of them. And I wasn't happy with that, because Regina's a tough physical team. They're a good football team, but they're bullies, and that's kind of how they play, and that's fine. But you got to, to beat a bully, you got to push back. So we played them 2 weeks ago. We got a bye this past week in Regina, and it was an extremely physical game. Our kids really answered the bell, and it was a very hotly contested game. We lost some guys in the game. They lost some guys to some season-ending injuries, as did we, and it was a physical battle. Our kids they showed great spirit, and they understand, I think, now what it takes to be a team. So, but the thing is, every week in the PFC is like a street fight. It really is. All the teams are good, and you got to really earn your victories. So it's, we're off to a tough start, but in saying that, Saskatchewan is really the measuring mark in the PFC, and then we played 3 games against them. We're not good enough yet, but we're getting there.
Coach, who are some of the players that fans who are watching this game this weekend should look out for?
I guess when we start talking about this, usually the first guy we'll mention is Mike Rashad. He's our tailback. He's number 27, and I think he was in the bomber camp this year and really asserted himself quite well. He, again, this is my opinion, so not that it really matters, but from my humble opinion, I think he's the best running back in the country. And he broke his finger, actually, when we played in Regina, and he broke his pinky in 2 places, and they kind of taped him up, and he muddled his way through. Didn't have a great game and whatnot, just kind of the way it unfolded, but he's a key guy. He's a great kid, one of the hardest workers on our team, and he's blessed with some God-given talent that a lot of kids don't have. He'd be one guy for sure. Our strongest group collectively on our team is our receiving core. We're really, honestly, 8-9 guys deep that I could put any of them out, and they're all front-line guys. One of our captains, Xander Tuchinski, plays slot. He's a key guy for us. Ian Lee, who was an All-Canadian last year, we play out wide on our left-hand side. He's a good player. Brendan Noyak's another good player. Jimmy Bear, our quarterback's had a good season to date. He's played pretty well. Probably our defense, our top guys on defense would be number 20, Nathan Dixon. He's played predominantly as a DB. He's a leading point producer, like when the defensive points in the PFC. We moved him up to linebacker because we have some problems. Our front seven, our defensive line's quite young, so we've had some issues in there. We're trying to clean that up, and it's affected our linebacker play and stuff, so we moved some guys around. But Nathan would be one, and then Mike Penner, who plays as one of our halves. He's a pretty solid player, too. So those would be some key guys to watch.
Coach, now to this week, you take on the Huskers, a team obviously you don't see every week. How familiar are you with the Huskers, and what do you expect in that game?
Well, when I'm looking at them, I mean, it's different because, see, in the PFC, we have to take, like, 24 films from the sideline shots, and we have to have tight line, which is from the end zone. So the film quality in the PFC is quite a bit better, so you actually get to see things tighter and closer than the film that we've got from BC, because it's not mandated. They have to have both cuts. So it's the film's not the greatest, but I mean, actually, to be honest with you, sometimes I got more out of watching the YouTube broadcast than some of the game film. But I would say, I mean, obviously when you watch them, I mean, they're very pass heavy. I don't know the names of the kids, but I mean, when I look at them, their quarterback, he gets rid of the ball quickly. He's got a decent arm on him. Number 82, their slot back who plays their field slot. He's a good player. He could be a good player pretty well on any team. Number 81 who plays the slot to the boundary side, he's a pretty good player. Number 2 is a good player. Number 4, the wideout who plays the boundary wideout, he's pretty good. He's got some vertical speed. So they have some good receivers that were, they'd be good receivers on any team. So, I mean, obviously from our perspective, the weakest part of our team is our defense. So, I mean, our front seven have to really stand up and play hard and try to get some pressure on the quarterback. He gets rid of the ball very quickly, so we're going to have to get our hands up. And our secondary is going to have to do a good job covering these guys because they've certainly got some talent there. So that's what I've noticed offensively. Defensively, they're what I would call unorthodox in how they play defense. They do some things that I don't normally see from other defenses, and I think part of the reason, I think they've had obviously an improvement that you haven't shown in their win-loss column, but they've certainly taken some of the better teams, and they played them very well. So it looks, because they're unorthodox on defense, I think it causes some confusion for the offenses. So it seems like, especially early in the game, it takes a while for the offenses to kind of get their bearings straight on what they're doing. And I think once they kind of figure them out, then the offenses from the other teams have had some success. But they are unorthodox. So, I mean, they don't play like a conventional kind of defense. So as a result of that, there is some confusion there, and we're trying to get a good understanding of it. But it's been tough for us this week to really understand what it is they're trying to do.
That is Gordie Wilson, head coach of the Winnipeg Rifles. Thanks, Coach. Good luck this weekend. We also caught up with offensive coordinator of the Valley Huskers, Corey Hamade, and talked to him about his team's performance in a loss to Kamloops Broncos this past weekend, and talked to him about his team's matchup against the Winnipeg Rifles this Saturday. Coach, this past weekend your team played a great game against the Broncos, unfortunately losing on a last-minute touchdown. You end up losing that one 30-23. What are your thoughts on your team's performance?
I thought we competed. I thought we just didn't finish, which is something that we've definitely got to work on. I think we gained a lot of experience from the game. Our players haven't been in a lot of situations where down the stretch of a game, things still matter. So I think the experience will just help us get better in the long run for when we get into that same situation. What positives do you see with the Huskers moving forward? I see kids competing or working on competing, or we're trying to compete, and we're trying to learn that right now. And I think that's the biggest positive I see. And I see them kind of sticking together and playing through all the different adversity that we face throughout the season. Now looking to this week's game, you play the Winnipeg Rifles in a crossover game. How much do you know about Winnipeg, and what do you expect in that game? I don't know a lot. I have their last 2 games on film there, so I've been watching those. What to expect is I just expect our players to play hard and to put forth as much effort as they can to try and win the game. We're not so focused on what I guess Winnipeg is doing as much as we're worrying about ourselves getting better week in and week out.
That is Corey Hamade, offense coordinator of the Valley Huskers. Thanks, Coach. Good luck this weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week. Well, there you have it. If you are in the Chilliwack area, this Saturday, the game between the Winnipeg Rifles and the Valley Huskers starts at 1 p.m. at Exhibition Stadium. For more coverage of the BCFC, follow each team's Twitter account and also the BCFC's Twitter account at BCFC_media. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week, and enjoy the games.